Hey, what's up, Questers? I've had a lot of comments on my most recent video saying, how can you take the Oculus Quest outside? You're an idiot. You're going to break your Quest. It's going to destroy the sensors. And I think there's a lot of misinformation about what happens when you take the Quest outside, whether you can take it outside, and the circumstances that allow you to do that. So that's what we're talking about today on BMF. Alright, before we do anything else, let's talk about the reasons you should not take your Oculus Quest outside, and number one is the sun, and there's two reasons for that. First off, the sun is a giant ball of light, and it's putting off a massive amount of light, and that actually throws off the inside-out tracking for the Oculus Quest. If it is bright enough, or you're in a bright enough environment, the tracking system will not work at all. It'll just continue to crash, and it'll not allow you to do what you want to do, so that's one reason. But the bigger reason is that it can actually cause damage to your Oculus Quest. It does not cause damage to the sensors though, as a lot of people think. The sensors just pass through the light, and what happens is the rays bounce through the sensors into the lenses on the inside, and because of the type of lenses that they are, they can burn in. So it essentially magnifies the light, hits the lenses, and it can burn in the lenses, and that's the last thing you want to do because it's not covered by warranty and it'll damage your Quest, and it's irreparable, so you don't want to do that at all with the Oculus Quest. That's why you don't want to go outside if there is full sunlight, or if it's really bright at all. That's a really bad idea, and I've never gone outside when it's sunny just because I know that. So that is your first reason. Don't go outside if it's sunny with the Oculus Quest. The second reason is moisture. The Quest and water do not mix, so you don't want to get caught in a rainstorm or even in a short shower with your Quest outside because it could cause damage. So make sure you check your weather. One of the best times I've found to actually use the Quest is when there's a lot of cloud cover and it's really overcast, but just make sure those clouds over you aren't incredibly dark and you're about to get caught in a freak rainstorm. The third reason is because being outside, depending on where you are, can be dangerous. It's always a good idea to have a spotter if you're going to play outside, regardless of where you are, especially if you're in a place where there could be traffic. In fact, I don't recommend doing that at all. In my recent video, I did play in a parking lot, but I was really joking when I said someone could hit me because the area where I was playing is right beside where I live and nobody goes there, so that wasn't actually going to happen. But when you're playing in the Quest, especially with headphones on, you're pretty much disconnected from the entire world. So anyone could come along and steal your bag. An animal could come along and maul you and you wouldn't know what was happening. So there's a lot of negative things that could happen. So don't do it by yourself unless you're in your own yard or your own area, because it's honestly dangerous. And the last thing you want to do is take your headset off just to realize your backpack with your laptop or your wallet or your keys have all disappeared and you're left there and no one is around. Those are the reasons not to play outside. Remember, moisture bad, sun bad, burns lenses, getting hit by a car very bad, or getting stuff stolen also very bad. So there you go. There's 3 reasons not to play outside. But having said that, now let's talk about why you might want to play outside and the optimal conditions. Playing outside with the Oculus Quest under the right conditions, in the right circumstance, is honestly one of the coolest experiences you can have, because not only are you outside, there's fresh air depending on the game that you're playing. And for instance, if you go golfing or fishing, you can smell that fresh air, you can feel the breeze. Makes a big difference when it comes to immersion and realism, especially if you're wearing headphones and you can just feel it, but you're not hearing the outside noise. But the biggest thing for me is room scale, and I've only done this a handful of times, which is why I want to continue to do more and why I was so excited in my last video. The room scale ability of being outside is incredible. Not everyone has a gym or a big open space that they can physically walk around in, and so being outside allows for more people to be able to do that. Now, optimal conditions for when to use your Quest outside. There's a couple of different things. Now, one thing I should say is that I've played outside underneath of a covering, which is a really cool compromise, because if you can find a covered space that's big enough to play, then it allows you to be outside while also being inside, away from the sun, essentially, and that is a really good idea if you can do that. But not everyone has a place like that to do that. If you're going to play actually outside, the optimal conditions are extremely overcast and cloudy, wherein the sun is not directly shining down on you and on the Oculus Quest. Direct sunlight is a bad thing, but if it's diffused through a large cloud cover, then it just essentially becomes a big light source. and it allows you to use a tracking system so it doesn't keep shutting off and not working, and it won't burn the lenses. Also, dusk, not dark, because if it gets too dark, it won't work either. But like when the sun's starting to go down, you've got it behind some trees maybe, or if it's down just below the landscape and it's still bright enough to actually play, that can be a good time too. Just make sure you watch what's going on, because if you play long enough, which I've done, and the sun starts going down and it's dark, all of a sudden your tracking will be lost and you'll pick your headset up and it'll be dark and you'll have no idea what the heck's going on. Now, obviously, if you have a big space that's lit at night and you don't have to worry about the sun, then that can work too, and it actually works even better because you don't have to worry about the sun itself. Or if you'd rather play outside without a ton of light at night, you can get an infrared light, and actually that will allow you to play, and it'll see, because the cameras are the outside tracking cameras, they use infrared sensors. So if you've got an infrared light, it's not visible to human eye, so it'll be darker or pitch black depending on what you're doing, but you can still play because the sensors will see what's going on around you. I hope that answers some questions. Let's quickly recap. Can you play outside? Yes, you can. Should you play in full sun? No, you shouldn't. There's some things that you shouldn't do. There's some things that you can do, but there definitely is possibility to play outside in a larger room scale environment, as long as you stay safe and you do it under the right circumstances. If you want to get the most out of your Quest, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there and the bell icon for notifications. Plus, you can check out even more of my videos right there. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe if you're going to play outside especially, and happy questing.